mean I spent this money for nothing?
Dude, I did take piss tests like 3 times a week for a year.
Dude, fuck that.
And they stand there and watch you.
I had to take one for when I... Oh, by the way, we're live. I had to take one for... More than one, obviously, but I had to take a couple for when I went through Tri-Cities Truck Driving Academy, because in order to be enrolled, you have to be clean, I guess. But that shit's serious, man. Like, they fill the toilet with this, like, shit.
So, yeah.
And they tape the top of it shut. And don't turn the sink on, because then you'll fail. And I'm like...
I had to go to a place in Parma to take the P test.
For what?
Before I got my job. And,
okay.
Because it's with the government, technically.
Yeah. Apparently the FBI is having a lot of issues hiring hackers to work for them because nobody can pass a piss test. And I was like, well, there's...
Well, fuck that, man.
Well, I
do
mean,
you want
it's
qualified people, or...
Do you want Kevin Smith or do you want Edward Snowden? Well, they're kind of the same thing, I guess.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, have you ever seen...
See a hacker? No.
No, but he played a hacker in the last Die Hard movie that came out.
Did he?
Yeah. I think that was him. What's up, baby? You ever have your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Yeah. I watched Dogma the other day. That movie, the rewatchability, I was really surprised by. Fucking hilarious. There's a throw out line in that after they throw Loki and Bartleby off the train. Mm-hmm. There's a guy in the dining car, and Kevin Smith, the only line he says throughout the whole movie, Kevin Smith looks at him and jerks his thumb towards him and goes, "No ticket." You know what that's from? Indiana Jones. When he throws him off the train, he goes, "No ticket."
Yeah.
I forgot what other lines are from that movie that they quoted there, like clear like throwouts or shout outs to other movies. But man, that movie is just great. Like when he's killing everybody in the office, and he like blows everybody. He's like, and so took company that took leave, took vacation to go to Thailand to have sex with a 13-year-old boy. And then Matt Damon's like, yeah, he carves the little voodoo doll out of the onion, and he sets it on the desk, and he's like, I don't believe in that. Are you crazy? And he walks out of the office, and he comes back, and he goes, but I do believe in this. He has the giant Desert Eagle handgun, and he starts shooting everybody. And earlier in the scene, he had sneezed, and nobody said, God bless you. And there was like one woman in the boardroom that he didn't kill, and he's like, you're a decent human being. You should be happy. All these guys were fucking scumbags. And he goes, but you didn't say God bless you when I sneezed. He points the gun at her, and then Ben Affleck is like, come on, let's go. He's like, fine. But just the whole George Carlin as a bishop, really, I don't think it could have been any better than that. I guess Kevin Smith got like a bunch of death threats and shit from it for all that, which is pretty Christian, I'd have to say. I'm gonna fucking kill you, you big fun of my God.
I don't know, I feel like at that time that movie came out, there was more of a...
Reverence?
Reverence. Yeah. You know, I think people held that shit more sacred.
Well, that was... What year did that come out?
99.
Yeah, that was like before the internet really got big.
And now, like, it doesn't matter what you say or do.
No. That was like really, it flew in the face of a lot of different people's fucking...
That was still during the era of, like, you know, when you had those, like, a lot of Christian right teenagers and kids that were just like...
It was, I'd say a time of less than a fully informed public. Now everybody's like, yeah, fuck church and all that shit. Or more people are on board with it.
Millennials ruin church.
The church of whatever the fuck.
We ruined Toys R Us.
Are we millennials? Or
Technically, we're millennials. I wrestled with this for a long time, but they finally drew the lines this past year, because there's kind of like this gray area. It's like, well I thought it's a tail end of Generation X in the beginning of millennials. So officially, it's like 1981 through 1996 is millennial. So
well, apparently, welcome to the not ever going to be able to retire club.
Yeah. For a while though, I guess we were part of a micro generation called Zennials. Yeah. Because we didn't really fit in with millennials or Generation X, but they just threw that out the window and it's like, okay, well, we got to figure this out. So,
I'll consider myself a rogue Zennial. Send out the millennials.
Fucking millennial.
Yeah.
My favorite thing I saw was like, damn millennials eating Tide Pods. I remember online, and someone wrote like, get it right. Millennials don't eat Tide Pods. Millennials eat ass and avocado toast.
That's true. Well, I can't be a millennial. I'm allergic to avocados. Boom.
Are you allergic to ass though?
Fuck no. I eat the shit out of it. Not literally.
Eat the shit out of
it. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No! Dude.
This guy ate shit for breakfast.
I guess that dude that played Shooter McGavin is referred to as Shooter. Everywhere he goes, people are like, "What's up, Shooter?" And he loves it. Unlike Danny Noonan from Caddyshack. He hates it when people call him Noonan.
The rest of his life.
Yeah. I mean, you are Noonan. Like, there's no fighting it. Like, you don't have another name. You're not known by another name. You're Noonan. But man, fucking, dude, getting back into Repossessions is probably the best move I could have made.
Okay. How'd your week go?
Fast.
And furious?
A lot of fury there. People like to warm up their cars in the morning. And if your car's up for repossession, if you're going to warm it up, it's cool. But I would suggest using a remote starter and not starting it and leaving your keys in it.
That's dumb, man.
Man, but it's great. If you've never done it before, you should really try it. Hopping into someone else's car and driving away. Pretty much committing Grand Theft Auto, but with a repossession order, is probably one of the most fun things that there is to do in life.
So do you just take cars, or do you do all sorts of shit?
Cars, boats, trucks, Jeeps.
So you can drive a boat, like just like jump into Lake Erie and just like
take
off with a boat?
I would go down.
I mean, it's probably hitched to a trailer.
No. It could be in the water or on a trailer. There is a captain, like you can hire a captain, and like, you know, I wouldn't go down there with them, but
fucking captain's license.
I would, but I spent some time on a boat when I was in the Marines, and I think that was my fill.
You don't like?
I'm not a big fan of the water.
You don't like
being out in the water where anything can grab you and pull you under?
Well,
in Lake Erie.
Yeah, still. I don't like it. I get really
It is a little weird. The ocean scares me.
Yeah, like I'm not top of the food chain there. My opposable thumbs really don't do shit for me out there.
But your web feet do.
That's true. I took care of that with some side cutters and a.
It's like Waterworld, web toes.
Oh my god, got land sickness. Dude. Kevin Costner was terrible in that movie.
I think that's an underrated movie.
It is. That broad had the tattoo that was a map or some shit on her back, and she somehow kept it hidden forever.
She was a little kid.
Oh.
A little kid. She was like 5.
I remember the fucking weird dude that ran the ship, that was in charge of the ship, and he would like throw out cases of Spam or some shit.
No, cigarettes.
Was it cigarettes?
Yeah. Dennis Hopper. He paid everybody his cigarettes. They were called smokers.
I thought it was ham, or canned ham, or cans of Spam. I don't know what the fuck.
I think it was definitely cigarettes.
Was it? Yeah. Fuck, man. There'd be 2 movies that he was obsessed with cigarettes. First one was Apocalypse Now, and then there was Waterworld. And then there was the time where he played the crazy bomber with one hand, or one thumb, in Speed.
I need to watch that movie again. I haven't seen it in like 20 years. Man.
It's terrible. Keanu Reeves is terrible. Like, his emotional range is not good. But
I think Keanu Reeves is great. I think that, you know, he plays his part. You know, he's... You don't expect...
I'll tell you what, man. His fucking... The fact that he is pretty much a martial artist and his weapon discipline, like his...
Did you see that video of him training for John Wick?
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, dude. Like,
it's nuts.
He actually handles a weapon the way it would
You
be
didn't
handled.
think it was real at first. You were
well,
like,
yeah.
Fucking, no, it's fucking
But no,
real.
I looked at it again. I mean, they're live rounds. You know, he's hitting all that shit.
Do you know that if you take a blank, you put a blank in a gun and you shoot yourself in the head with the muzzle up to your head, it'll kill you? Some dude in Ohio, I forget his name, but he fucking did that. He won the lottery and he was like, yeah, I won the lottery. Bam! And fucking killed himself.
He won the lottery.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot lottery.
God damn, man.
What is, like, the air pressure and shit come out, or? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the shock wave, the concussive force. Because it's a bullet. They just fucking, instead of putting a projectile in the end, they just fucking crimp it shut. We would shoot fucking cleaning rods out of our M16s at pigs, trying to get pigs. I could fucking yell it all the time, but dude, a cleaning rod's like, what, 6-8 inches, and it's fucking things fly, man.
You killed pigs?
Yeah, I don't think we ever hit one, but we shot at them.
Farm?
No, this is out in the field in North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere in the woods out there. Not a fun time, but a fun time at the same time. Everybody has swamp ass or... Huh?
Swamp ass and...
It's great, man.
It's my night every night.
Swamp ass.
I can always have swamp ass.
Oh, man. There's nothing better than swamp ass.
Oh,
you get used to it after a while, unfortunately.
I never did. I went to the dock.
I mean, I just keep cornstarch in my locker at work, and it's
some cornstarch.
No,
cornstarch. I need to wear my biker shorts.
Swamp ass is distinctly different than monkey butt. What you're describing is monkey butt.
Well, no, swamp ass too. Like sometimes you have to go to the bathroom and just like wipe it out a little bit, keep baby wipes in there, freshen up.
The only way you're getting swamp ass out by wiping is if you have some fucking high grit sandpaper. That's an actual like.
So.
That's like going, I took care of my athlete's foot. I just cleaned it up.
What is swamp ass?
It's when you get a rash in and around your asshole ball sack region, or a woman would be a vagina, and it becomes to a point where it's like almost like athlete's foot, but it becomes insanely painful to have sweat roll down your crack. It fucking burns like a motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that's my life on the line in the summer.
Swamp ass is just like dirty, slimy, you know.
Well,
little bit of poo residue.
I just know how to fix it now because I have I have the big butt, I have the thighs, I chafe. Man, I'm a fucking chafe expert. I don't chafe in my chef pants anymore.
Can't wear corduroys; you'll start a fire.
You can hear me walk down the hallway, like that's
oh,
Bailey's coming.
Were corduroys ever popular?
What was that children's book? Like Corduroy the bear who got like locked in the shopping mall or some shit overnight.
Yeah, my son loves that.
You needed a button.
Yeah, so he tried to steal one, or he stole one from a bed, and it made him knock over a lamp, and then the security guard found him, and some little kid came in and... Yeah.
Little corduroy. I forgot about him.
Yeah, my son Daniel loves it. Loves to read that book. He's hilarious.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, I guess he punched a kid in the face or something.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Well, I mean... I don't know who started what, but like one of the teachers was like, "Yeah, I mean he's got a problem, keep his hands to himself." I'm like, "Well, what happened?" And he's like, "Oh, the kid called him a jerk." I was like, "Well, the kid called him a jerk. And then Daniel punched him in the face. Teacher's like, yeah. I was like, well, I mean, I don't know what the fuck you'd expect. You know, I'll tell him not to punch everybody in the face, but I'm also going to tell him if somebody calls him a jerk or starts picking at him to punch him in the face. I mean, let's be honest here. You stand up. You don't have to stand tall all the time, but you do have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up like those two fucking morons down in Florida that are saying absolutely nothing about the good guy with the gun that shot the bad guy with the gun at the school and stopped a bunch of innocent people from getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two fucking douchebag kids, I don't remember their names, but they were like, we need to ban all guns. Have you seen the PSAs in the UK for carrying knives?
No.
The exact same fucking setup as carrying a gun. Like a PSA for anti-gun PSAs. But they're in UK. You know why? Guns are banned, so now they have a stabbing problem. I mean...
Dude, I'd have a problem if they took my knives away from me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if I were to attack somebody with a knife, like, guess what? I'm not going to run out of ammunition, and it's not going to jam.
Yeah, but are you going to kill, 17 people with a knife? Somebody's going to...
You got to have goals in life, Alex.
I mean...
Not if they don't have a fucking knife. If there are no guns... And I have a knife.
Okay.
So I will fuck a bunch of people up.
Somebody could take a bat. I mean, there's so many other...
But you have to get it within range.
Take a one of those things that you put out fires with and put it in your face.
Fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguisher.
So, what are those things you put out fires with? You extinguish fires with? What are those called again? That I don't have anything to drink. Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, so with a knife, you never have to reload it. It's never gonna jam. You're never gonna run out of ammo, and unless you're like slicing all the way through people's necks with it, it's not gonna get dull, really.
Yeah, but you're not gonna kill people as easily. I mean,
I'm gonna scare the shit out of them.
Unless you're pretty skilled with a knife. I mean,
it doesn't take much to practice. Have you ever stuck a knife in a cardboard box? I would guess it's about the same as sticking it in a human.
I don't know much about stabbing people, but
I keep an 8-inch chef knife in my car to protect myself from the carjackers. Because if the police pull me over, I'm like, I'm a chef. There's a cookbook in the back seat. If you want to smell my work clothes, they're in the trunk.
He's like, nah, I don't need to open. I can smell them now, yeah.
Make a deal.
Some people might call it monkey butt. I don't know.
Monkey butt.
I'm not here to argue
But I don't chafe anymore. Yeah. Don't worry. Got that under control.
Dude, I don't think people are going to stop fucking doing stupid shit to hurt other people.
No.
And taking away guns just makes it... Let's put it this way. It's the start of the end of having anything freedom-wise. Like, oh, well, what stopped Japan from invading America during World War II? Behind every blade of grass, there will be an American with a rifle if we try to invade America. This is what some fucking Japanese dude
there's
said.
Some logistical,
Yeah, but it's the threat of, I'm sure
they weren't like, we don't want to go invade America because all their citizens are going to be armed with, rifles.
Yeah.
But
it's like, people don't seem to get it, like...
I mean, do you really think, like, ISIS is going to come to your neighborhood and start, like, beheading people?
Look what happened in France today. Did you see what happened in France today?
They have a different demographic over there, and they're a lot closer to the Middle East. What happened in France today? I don't know.
A ISIS terrorist carjacked somebody. Probably not the best argument for my case, but shot somebody in the head, took their car, went to a supermarket, took a bunch of hostages. I think he killed like 3 of them before the cops shot him and killed him. But my point is if you are in France or any other country other than America where the guns aren't as prevalent, like, of course you're going to be able to do shit like that because it's not America. Americans would fucking kill anybody that tried to do, like...
Okay, well, if you have a conceal and carry license, say, if you legally carry a firearm, you'll be able to stop a terrorist. Maybe.
Yeah.
If you have an assault rifle, cache in your home, when is that really going to come in handy? Now, I'm not against assault rifles. Yeah. Well, a complete assault rifle ban. I'm just trying to figure out.
My thing is, there is no such thing as an assault rifle because it's a verb.
Right.
It's hard for me to like, the Second Amendment's gone. That's more of a sticking point for me is it's not so much, let's not ban this gun, let's ban this gun. Let's not ban this gun, let's ban this gun. Once you start banning guns, it becomes easier. It's a slippery slope. Once you start down that slope, there ain't no getting back the fuck up it. Like, you're not. It's just not going to happen. You're going to need the same circumstances that this country was founded on, which the likelihood of that happening again, probably not. You know what I mean?
It just needs to be harder to get a license. Like, you need to have, the mental evaluation. Like, I feel like somebody like me should not be allowed to buy a gun. I'm okay now, but I have a history of drug abuse and suicidal tendencies, and I think it's not a good idea for me to have a gun.
Plus, you're a woman.
That too. That's the biggest thing.
Women should not be allowed.
But where was it?
Trusted with firearms.
Was it like Japan or something? So they have to go through so many hours of courses. They have to take written exams. They need to pass an accuracy test, like 100%, like hit the targets, and they have to have like fucking police come in and like check to see how they're storing their guns. Like I don't know anything about guns. Like the bullets and everything need to be stored separately, under lock and key. Like there's just a bunch of things.
It's super strict. But then you have to also remember Japan. You can buy used women's panties in a fucking vending machine.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean I never saw it when I was there, but they fucking.
It's embarrassing how far ahead they are of us.
They call raccoons trash pandas. They're fucking retarded.
Is that them? I thought that was just a funny thing.
That's where it came from. They would import them and keep them as pets, and then when people were like, holy fucking shit, this is a wild fucking animal.
It's a cute raccoon.
Yeah, then they just let it go. Like, so now they have a raccoon problem in Japan.
Did you see that, the social rating system that they're trying to incorporate in China?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fucking Black Mirror episode waiting to happen.
It's like, you're a bad person. You don't recycle. You don't give to charity. You don't
donate
go
blood.
to church.
What fucking movie was it where it's a stand-up philosopher? It was B. Arthur.
B. Arthur?
B. Arthur was like, I think it was like a Benny Hill skit or some shit. I can't remember what the fuck movie was it. Where it was like, the guy was an assassin, it was the unemployment line. He's like, okay, did you kill anybody this week? No. Okay, did you kill anybody last week? No. Did you make any attempts to kill anybody this week? No. Okay, you're going to have to at least kill somebody or make an attempt to kill somebody within the next week, or we're going to have to change your status. Next, stand-up philosopher. Stand-up philosopher, yeah. B. Arthur gives the definition of what she does, and he's, oh, you're a bullshit artist. But it's like, I forgot where I was going with that point. I'm a little fried this evening.
I'm going to just say one more thing about the guns, because I've thought about this, and I don't know that much about guns, but I see, where different people are coming from. And it's like people that are just like, oh, we should ban all guns, and you have people that are just like, no, everybody should be armed. But like, there's, these school shootings happen, and people are just reactionary in one way or the other. And it's like, well, it's mental health or it's guns. And the people that say it's mental health don't really give a shit about mental health. And the people that say it's guns aren't really looking at, any other option except banning guns.
Yeah, they don't really... The knee-jerk reaction, yeah.
And it's...
there's
just more going on. It's like,
yeah.
I don't think a little more regulation is going to, hurt anybody's rights. It's like maybe it shouldn't be so easy to buy certain types of firearms.
But then look at the Maryland shooter, the one that got killed by the cop that was in the school with the gun.
Yeah, and
he was underage. He had a gun that was... He broke so many different laws, not including, obviously, assault with a deadly weapon or discharging a firearm within city limits or whatever the fuck. But, like, everyone's talking about, oh, Chicago this, Chicago that, they have the highest... Yeah, it's easier to get a gun from out of state, and bring it in, but it's... I think they should just bring back the fucking mafia. The Italian mafia. Just bring them back. That guy in Vegas would have never gotten away with that shit. Ever. Never, ever, never, ever. Street gangs never would, if it have made the advancements into today's culture. MS-13 would not be around. None of these fucking problems would have happened. Yeah, some mobsters get whacked out. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, fuck them. But, corporate America took over Vegas, and now there's a ridiculous amount of homelessness there. It's a fucking disgusting city. And then you have, what's his name? Is it Braddock or Maddock or Paddock? That fucking weirdo that shot all those people at the country music concert in Vegas.
Know. Did they figure out what his motivation was, or what, like...
They just came out with the footage of him... I think he had like 17 suitcases or some shit in his room. But like they have the video of him finally, they released it, of him, carrying, used bellhops to fucking carry his...
Did he just like fucking snap or what? Like, I mean, he's an older dude.
Maybe he didn't like country music and he was fucking tired and he heard the country music and was like, God, they need to shut the fuck up. He was eccentric.
You think, okay, so these school shootings happen, and that's really where where people like really get up in arms.
There.
And it's like that becomes the talking point. And it's like, well,
Anne Frank could have seen what you did there.
It's like, okay, mental health. It's like, okay, we gotta take care of these kids, and maybe these people like on these psychiatric medications, antipsychotics and shit when they're kids, they put these kids on drugs. And...
Yeah. Right on the label it says may increase depression, may cause thoughts of suicide. I think they need to put guns back in school.
Sometimes I feel like an accelerationist and I don't really care about what happens.
Kind of like fuck them. Like, it's going to happen.
Like, fuck, let's just let it go.
Yeah, that's the new, this is the new normal. I guess we're going to just deal with it.
I can't make a coherent argument either way about gun
one
control.
Way or the other,
and part of me doesn't even care, and it's fun to shoot guns.
Oh,
but
man.
I will, I shouldn't own a gun.
Why?
Because if, I'm off my medication for a week, I might get a little unhinged. I might harm myself or others.
Hold the door for somebody and they forget to say thank you. You might pull it out and be like, did you forget to say something? You're welcome.
Did you clean the fucking litter box?
I mean, I get it. You go out, different people. You go out to the country, it's people. It's so much different out there than it is around, here.
Yeah.
and it's just a different lifestyle. People, they have a lot of guns, and it's just normal.
That's what we do when we go out to my parents' house.
Yeah.
Pull out all the guns and let's shoot shit in the backyard.
And I kind of get it. And how are you going to go out there and be like, hey, we're going to take away your rifle? That's not going to happen.
Yeah, like, no. They'll hand it to you fucking barrel first.
And part of me just doesn't give a shit. And
my honest opinion, they should have fucking marksmanship in schools. That should be a class that's taught, as well as maintenance, cleaning, all that shit. Because if you don't fucking teach anybody about guns, then they're ignorant about it.
Maybe it's education. It's just like...
Or lack thereof.
Lack of education.
A complete lack thereof.
Same with drugs. Same with all these kind of forbidden...
There's just
things that cause problems.
Nope, they're bad. Just don't do them. That's all you need
class.
to know.
We're gonna all try these drugs out, safe amounts, and this is what they all do. And we're gonna have one person overdose for us. This is how
it's stimulant month.
Yeah, but stimulant month. We're gonna put a whole semester into 1 week. It's gonna be on stimulants, meth. Well, I mean, there are drugs in school. Fucking Adderall, that's exactly the same as crystal meth.
That's the thing.
The only difference is...
people are getting legally prescribed this shit without a bat in an eye. Like...
which, how long until everybody's like, oh my god, there's a meth epidemic. Like, there is an opioid. Like, what the fuck did you expect? You're prescribing it in record amounts.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we should execute drug dealers, and it's just like,
fucking deter you, man.
No.
Yeah, let's
execute like heads of the pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, let's go from the top down.
Sure.
Yeah, and every politician that took money from the pharmaceutical companies, they get shot too. I'm in full support of that. Like, if we could just go cut every politician, like every senator, every fucking House representative, and every fucking governor, every fucking one of them, fuck them all. Cut all their heads off. And then what you do in D.C., and that fucking nice long road to the fucking Capitol building, you put poles. And on the top of the poles, you put their heads. And at each fucking pole where there's a fucking douchebag politician's head, you put a sign that said, took money from this company, took money from this company, took money from this company, voted this way, was found to be guilty of being corrupt. This is the result. Welcome to the new America.
I mean, you get on the internet and see where they all take money.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit. Because everybody feels like, I feel, in my personal opinion, I feel that everyone feels that there's, what is the point? What can we do as citizens? And buy guns. That's what you can do. That's how you do your civic duty. That's how you keep that fucking corrupt government somewhat in check. Is by the fact that you don't know.
And storm the courthouse with a fucking arsenal and show those motherfuckers.
As long as that threat's there, we still have a fucking chance.
It's like North Korea. It's like, you think they're going to give up their nuclear weapons? Hell no.
Because once they give up their them.
Oh, they totally have them. I mean,
I think what they have is, I think when they did their tests, they got weapons from somewhere and they detonated it, and then they blew a bunch. There were a bunch of blowhards. They're like, okay, yeah, we have them. We have weapons. Let's see if we get some of this trade embargo lifted, or some of these sanctions lifted.
Once you give up the weapons, you lose your leverage,
and then you fall victim to Pol Pot. You remember who Pol Pot was?
Pol Pot was a pretty great guy.
That's true.
I mean, didn't you?
No, that was Pinochet.
No, Pol Pot. You're talking about Pinochet.
Yeah.
But Pol Pot was actually, like, he was, like, educated around Europe. He, like, worked in New York as a pastry chef. Like.
But so was Muammar Gaddafi.
There's nothing wrong with Gaddafi. He was a patsy. Like, he wasn't a bad guy. Like, he was just...
Yeah. It was like Saddam.
They kind of set him up.
Yeah. I'll put it this way, man. As long as the American public has a ridiculous amount of fucking guns, as long as there is still a chance of this country being somewhat free. Like the fact that we can plug in a microphone and talk into it without having to fall victim to social credit scores or whatever the fuck that is in China.
Social credit scores?
Yeah.
Your FICO social credit score?
Yeah. Social credit system.
Your SJW standings.
Trigger.
That's the new fucking... The Dow, the NASDAQ, the SJW. That's going to be the new one.
I don't know, all these conservative alt-right twats, like, though, I don't like them.
I don't think anybody does. I don't think they like them.
No. Those guys are such fucking...
It's like the Tiki Torch gang.
They're such faggots.
Yeah, I mean, they probably are. I know I've met, like... I met this one dude that I worked with at the last restaurant I worked at. He's Jehovah's Witness, and I always get into conversations with him. You know, I never outright blasphemed in front of him, but, like, I would talk to him, and it would kind of, like, you know, sow seeds of doubt in his religion. I just ask questions, you know, like, just different questions. But I would ask him at a point where we were super fucking busy, so that he wouldn't be able to answer me right away, so hopefully it would stew in his mind a little bit. But, like, I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy. A guy shot somebody, killed him, and then took a bunch of hostages in a fucking French supermarket. Why? Because they had really loose immigration laws. I'm not saying build a wall and throw all the Mexicans out of this country, but
immigration.
I don't expect the system to fix the system. I expect the system to continue the system, because that's what it does. That's the system's function, is to continue itself. You know, and that's what...
I don't care about immigrants, to be honest.
No, I mean, it's not that. It's the whole system. So, this dude was fighting... This was in Cleveland. This was, like, I think, like, within the last week. This dude in Cleveland was fighting the courts to get custody of his daughter. His daughter wound up getting killed by her mother and her mother's boyfriend. And it's the same in, like, say I were to get married and then get divorced, okay? The same cookie cutter template that was used for every other fucking divorce would be used for this divorce. The same cookie cutter slide rule for a custody battle in my case would be the same as in the last 50 fucking thousand cases. You see what I'm saying? Like, anytime the government gets involved in anything, it's fucked. Absolutely fucked. That it serves to do nothing but create another quagmire. Which is what we're currently in. I think...
You mean domestically or foreign policy?
I think everything.
So what should the government do?
Not exist in the capacity that it does currently.
What should it provide, you think?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Not a fucking thing.
Nothing.
What does the government provide now? A bunch of agencies that infringe on the rights of everyone, right?
They build roads.
Okay. You're saying infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Okay. You know, shit like that.
Too cheap for a week.
You know, child labor laws. You know, like the typical, like,
but they just make
pedophiles and shit like that.
But they just make it illegal here. Versus, so me and you open a shoe factory.
Yeah, that's true.
In the garage. We can't employ child labor laws, but we're a couple of millionaires and we open up a fucking sweatshop with 60,000 fucking kids in the same square footage of the garage, it's totally legal. Why? Because it's not in this country.
No, you're right.
But that's it's corrupt to almost past the point of where it's going to be able to be saved. Like the Grover Cleveland tree they chopped down that was 250 years old. Historical. They cut it down yesterday afternoon, I think. Why did they cut it down? It was a magnificent tree of immense historical society, a symbol of whatever the fuck.
Oh, that's
right?
Grandiose. That's very grandiose.
They cut it down. Why? It was rotten. For the most part, it was rotten.
What a metaphor. What a beautiful metaphor.
Did it still sprout leaves? Did it still provide shade? Did it still put out oxygen? Yes. But at what point do you cut it down? At what point does it become more of a hazard to the things around it?
Capitalism. That's the problem.
There you go. Capitalism and not being woke. I think it's, not to get too fucking on the high horse or get into quoting fucking founding fathers, but it's like a federal agency, the federal government at any level is always encroaching on freedoms. It's always encroaching. It's a cancer.
What about like public lands and preserving like parks?
Oh, you're talking about like the Teddy Roosevelt set up all the national parks. Yeah, you mean the same national parks that the federal government decided it would lease out the mineral rights to fracking companies, and now it's a complete fucking wasteland. Those national parks that they maintain.
They don't do that for all of them.
They don't.
They don't do that in Yosemite.
Only the ones that they can get money out of are the ones they do that to. Yosemite takes care of its fucking self. They hire a few rangers that go out and blow some gay dudes, and then they go, "Oh, the bears are thriving." Guess what? That shit'll fucking keep going for fucking ever. They don't need rangers out there to fucking. Oh, well, I gotta write you a ticket because you didn't get a fucking fishing license.
I mean, they're gonna be blowing gay dudes to Kingdom Come.
But why the fuck are they drawing a salary? You know what I mean? Kingdom Come, right? C-U-M, not C-O-M-E. Not to be mistaken. But, like... My point is, at what point does the government stop providing enough to sustain its own viability, where it's just like they take over everything? It's a cancer. Like,
is the government really in power, or is power from corporations really in control of the government? I mean, what is the government and what is kind of the power behind the government?
The government is a puppet of the money from the corporations. I forget the name of the case, but whatever versus the people, where corporations were determined to be people, even though you can't. Oh, corporation, the Exxon Valdez fucking spill, right? Oh, corporations are people, but not in this case, because you can't put a corporation in jail because, well, it's a corporation, but the corporation wants to give to. Well, it's not a corporation; it's a person. So the corporation could donate as much as it likes without having to, without having to cap it, because it's not a corporation, it's a person.
So,
but then it spills a bunch of fucking oil all over the fucking Gulf, and it kills a bunch of people's income. It kills them.
So who's to stop those things from happening?
Oh, the government. The same government that people... Dude, those motherfuckers jump from one side of the goddamn fence to the other when it comes to fucking... Like, the FDA... All right, cool. Trump's in, so now this dude that used to work for a lobbyist firm is now in the FDA. A lobbyist firm that had direct conflict of interest. That was direct conflict. Like, it's so fucking corrupt at this point. I don't fuck them. Fuck them all, dude. You want to get into politics?
No.
I don't want to get into politics. You know why? I don't have to screw my fucking socks on in the morning. I'm not crooked. I wouldn't be able to do that. I can't fucking, I can bullshit my way through fucking whatever. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not from the repo company coming here to steal your car. Like, oh no, blah, blah, blah. I'm just checking whatever. Yeah. No, yeah, I could bullshit my way through that. But, dude, being absolutely two-faced where all it is about fucking getting into office. And once you're in office, getting money back to the people that got you elected there. So they take care of me once I'm out of office. I can't do that shit. I can't live my life that way. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hitler took over Germany, right? All right. One of the many positive things that Adolf Hitler did. No, okay, so in Germany, if you look, there are laws that Hitler put into place against animal cruelty and testing on animals are still in place today in Germany. Why? Because there was good in that law, right? They saw that there was actually something decent in that. Okay, we'll keep this one.
Yeah,
but the one that says that Jews are lower than animals, we gotta kind of get rid of that one. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't know the answer to how to make the world a better place.
Let me put it to you like this:
for, try to be.
If you were to fall and hit your teeth on a rock, right, and it were to knock out 3 of your teeth, that sucks. Why? Because it hurts.
Yes.
Right? And you got 3 teeth missing out of your face. And you probably cut your lip. But you know what? There's silver lining. You know why? Those 3 teeth will never get a cavity. You'll never get a toothache from those 3 teeth. Right? You see what I'm saying? Like, at what point
do we knock out the teeth?
How many fucking teeth do you have to lose before you realize maybe knocking my teeth out instead of fucking dragging a brush across them instead of fucking bricks?
So knocking your teeth out instead of brushing your teeth is like the government?
The government is knocking your teeth out so you don't get cavities or toothaches. You know what I mean?
So what is brushing?
Brushing is having a well-armed militia to stop its own government, especially, from infringing on its rights.
Okay, I see. I get it.
So just brush and floss, man.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Was that?
Well, that's not as entertaining. We wouldn't have had as many laughs. We wouldn't have had to take it.
The government is punching your teeth out.
I love my country and I hate my government.
By arming yourself.
You see what I'm saying? Go out and get guns.
Love your country.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Anything on the federal level disgusts me. I'm disgusted by it. Like, okay, Florida shooter, what's his name, whatever, it doesn't matter his name is. What matters is the FBI had a whole bunch of tip-offs.
Oh, yeah. That was a failure on the FBI.
The county sheriff
100%.
had a whole bunch of tips off to it. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and guess the local police, that local jurisdiction, that local city, whatever it was, I'm going to guess that those guys knew. They're probably not going to admit it now, but had you asked them beforehand, be like, yeah, that kid's fucked up, man. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him, but he's a weirdo.
Yeah, that was a total failure of law enforcement.
But how many times do you see that happen where it goes unreported? That you don't hear about that. It's just like, oh yeah, Oliver North with the Iran-Contra scandal. Do you know about Oliver North? Okay. Oh yeah, that was just one time though. That's just one guy that did that. No, it fucking goes on all the time. Like, it's a systemic infection, and the only way to get rid of it is get rid of the system.
Well, okay. That's never going to happen.
No,
but you're always going to live within the system, and you're always going to have this.
Not always.
Relation.
Was it Herbert Hoover or Woodrow Wilson?
Herbert Woodrow.
Woodrow Wilson signed the National Reserve Act, I think it was, or the Federal Reserve Act? The Federal Reserve Act, where it created the central banking system. Yeah. Before him, there was a chance. Yeah, there was a chance before he signed that legislation creating a central banking, creating the ability to create a central banking system in place. Put that in place. Before he signed that, this country had a shot After he signed that, we were fucked.
Yes.
And then JFK tried to get rid of it, and you saw it happen to him. You know, Bill Burr, famous comedian, has a really good bit about that where he goes, I've heard before you go to do your inauguration speech or your acceptance speech, they kind of pull you into this room, you know, this door that nobody else knows about, and it's smoke-filled, and they show you an angle, a video from a different angle of JFK assassination. They go, you don't toe the line, guess what happens? The Kennedy brothers' father, Joe Kennedy, was an infamous bootlegger with the mafia. Used his influence in the underworld, the mafia, to get his sons elected. His sons got elected, and what did they do? Turned around and just stuck it up the mafia's ass. They absolutely... Bobby Kennedy went after every fucking mobster he could. Carlos Marcello was a mob boss in New Orleans. Bobby Kennedy had him kidnapped and dropped off in the middle of the jungle in Colombia, and Carlos Marcello had to walk back to America.
What?
Yes! Look it up, dude. I swear to God. He had him kidnapped. I think it was either Colombia or Guatemala. I don't know. It was not this country, and it was not at a fucking resort where he had him dropped off at. It was in the middle of the fucking woods. But the mafia kept shit under control. And then once they realized that, we could get rid of the mafia and replace it with these corporations and everything will be cool. It's like Hugo Boss created and manufactured all the uniforms for Nazi Germany. From the police. Hugo Boss. Well, the Hugo Boss. I forget the guy's name. Yeah, snappy dressers, you know. So you've heard of Pepsi? Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, right?
Oh yeah, the cola.
Have you heard of Fanta?
Yes.
Okay. When World War II started, it was considered treason, I guess, in Nazi Germany if you drank Coca-Cola. Not only had the trade embargo because they were at war and shit, they couldn't get the syrup.
Pepsi too? So it was...
They invented Fanta. Fanta was the National Socialist that was the soda that you drank in Germany, in Nazi Germany, was Fanta soda.
It's something you don't hear about.
No. Pfizer. Pfizer was another company. Created, I think it was Pfizer that made Zyklon B. It was a German Jew that made Zyklon A. And he made it, and it had a certain smell, so that you could smell it and go, oh shit, I better not breathe this in because it'll kill me. So then he created Zyklon B because Zyklon B didn't have a smell to it, and that's what they used to gas all the Jews. He was actually a German Jew, and he wound up getting killed, I think, in a death camp or some shit. But talk about ironic. But like all these companies, Bayer was the one that made Zyklon B. And it took them forever to get that stain off of their name. So now they're known for aspirin, you know, and baby aspirin.
Good product, aspirin.
It is, yeah. I know all about it. Have you ever seen Falling Down with,
yes.
Is that Michael Douglas?
That's Michael Douglas.
Oh, man, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
My point is absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Is that your point?
That's my point.
All right. Okay.
So you have this fucking guy, Trump, right?
This fucking guy.
Trump.
This fucking guy right here.
This fucking jerk.
Trump.
There's been a president since JFK. He got killed because after his father used his mafia connections to get his John and Bobby into office. The only thing we have to fear is fear. No, that's not it. It's not what you. It's not what your country can do for you. Yeah, none of that. JFK, the famous speech that was. It's not what your country.
7 years ago.
No, that was James Garfield that said that
one. I hate Mondays.
I hate Mondays and I love lasagna. He was fat, wasn't he?
He was pretty fat.
Yeah.
Heathcliff could kick his ass. For sure.
I'm a bigger fan of Heathcliff.
Yeah. He was like the bad boy cat.
Yeah. He was like the more true to form cat.
He hung around the alleys and shit, and, you know.
So after everything's said and done, you know, whoever wins is who writes history. You know, it's a very 1984 thing, but it's true. It really is true. And have you ever listened to the whole speech by JFK?
I did listen to a good bit of it.
Where he talks about secret societies and all that shit.
Several times, yeah.
I think that there was collusion. Yeah, dude. I think there was collusion between a handful of people that were high enough up that had enough influence. They're like, yeah, we got to get rid of this motherfucker because he's going to close down the CIA. He's going to close down the Federal Reserve. He's going to close down ATF and the DEA and all that shit. And he was.
He was going to close down the
CIA. He was going to disband all of those federal agencies that were part of what is now today known as the military-industrial complex.
Well, it's like Eisenhower left his last message.
Mm-hmm.
Was, you know,
beware. Yeah, he did a lot to stockpile.
And now we live in like the eternal conflict. War is never ending, and
what was it in Middle Asia, or what were the fucking the three countries that were always at war in 1984? The book. Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago I read that.
Man. Fuck, whatever it was, it's all propaganda at this point.
So,
in summation, I side with Rage Against the Machine, even though they're rich white kids.
Well, they didn't start out that way.
No. Not like Drake.
He's a rich white kid,
dude.
For sure.
Fucking started off worth $5 million.
He's white as fuck.
Dude, his mother is rich as fuck. Like, started from the bottom, now we're here shit was just like, no, you didn't. You started off rich, and now you're still rich.
I never really liked Drake's music.
No. I mean, it's fun to like.
But he's banging, what's her face? J-Lo.
Fuck it.
You know, that's alright.
Well, I mean, it's fun to like if you're hitting a heavy bag or some shit.
Wasn't she married to Ben Affleck?
Was she? I know it wasn't Matt Damon.
No, it was like taco and burrito.
Yeah. And then it was Cartman's Hand. That was the shit. That was a great fucking episode of South Park.
I'm gonna cover you in taco flavor cases.
I don't know where it went. Like at the end when his hand just did the weird fluttery thing, and she like flew away, it left. Oh man, it was almost as good as the South Park movie where Saddam Hussein was the gay lover of Satan.
Yeah. Satan's like talking about his feelings and shit, and like it's all like sensitive.
What about the Biggie Smalls episode? You ever see that one?
I don't know.
If you look in the mirror or the lights are off, you look in the mirror and say Biggie Smalls 3 times, he'll appear and shoot you. So everybody in the fucking episode was Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls. Man, what the fuck y'all want, man? The fuck? I'm trying to rest in peace. Y'all motherfuckers keep calling me up here. Dude, that was so funny. I forget how that episode ended. I think it was do you remember the Vote or Die episode? No. With Puff Daddy? It was Vote or Die. If you didn't vote or you said you weren't going to vote, Puff Daddy would come to your house and threaten you with his posse. God damn, man. Matt and Trey Parker really haven't figured out.
Yeah. Colorado's the place to be, man.
Dude, they, South Park, Colorado, man. Come on down to South Park and meet some friends of mine. They had a few different episodes where they were portraying Muhammad without portraying him. where he was in the back. He was one of the scenes. He was in the back of a U-Haul truck. Then he was dressed up like a fucking, like one of those sign spinning chickens, you know, like the sidewalk guys. And then I think he had like a giant teddy bear outfit on or some shit, like a furry. He was dressed up like a furry, and I don't think they ever referred to him by name, but they like.
That's fucking stupid. That was such a big deal. Like,
yeah, and then their shit got doxxed.
It was like 5 years before that they had Mohammed or something.
Yeah.
On an episode, but then after the Charlie Hebdo thing, it was just like, oh.
Yeah, well, they did get doxxed. You know what doxing is?
Yes.
Okay.
Matt and Trey Parker got doxxed.
Yeah, I
feel like their information is pretty public. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, anybody's is if you look at it, but at the time it wasn't. It was right after Charlie Hebdo. They did whatever they did, or right around the time of Charlie Hebdo, they did whatever they did, and then they're like, their pictures of their house were put up on these fucking kill whitey sites, you know, or kill non-believer sites. I never understood the whole fundamentalist things. Even my parents were fucking retards with that shit with Christianity, man. I was just like, what the fuck? I think I was like 10 or 11. I was just like, you guys fucking retarded? What the fuck? Like, they're trying to get into this super strict, exclusive sect of Christianity where all the women and all females were allowed to wear dresses. They were not allowed to wear slacks. And all the men were only allowed to have a mustache. They weren't allowed to have a beard.
But they had to have a mustache?
If they wanted to have facial hair, only a mustache was allowed, right?
Because I think it'd be a lot better if they all had to have.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. You always had that one douchebag that only like grows in one side, you know? But like, I remember it was kind of a sad day looking back on it because I like realized my parents were fucking morons. Like, they were following a cult and they were dumb for doing so. Like, they were completely not thinking for themselves whatsoever. They were like, oh, we just don't want to think about it, so we'll just do this. Like, follow a fictional book full of fucking fake stories. Okay. But, like, I forget the guy's name, but the dude had never been married. The one that started this sect, the one was leading this ultra whatever sect, had never been married, had no kids, lived in his parents' basement. But he's going to tell you how to run your household and your finances and, you know, lead your wife or whatever and your kids. And you're going to fucking tell me that this is smart? Like, at that point, I was just like, yeah, I'll go to church because you're bigger than me and you can beat me into submission, but I will not open my mouth to sing. I'll not bow my head to pray. I'm not going to fucking participate in any of this shit. I will be there because you make me be there. And I took countless beatings for that because I would just be like, no. If I was within arm's reach, fucking good luck getting me to listen. Dude, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm going to break your will to discipline me before your discipline will break my will to disobey you. Like, it's just not going to happen. Sorry. No tow car. No tow car. It was crazy, dude. Like, and then to think that there are people over there that are like, no, yeah, absolutely, strap a bomb on, man. It's good to go. Yeah, this is totally legit. Like, go put on a bomb.
I think they should just take all, like, the evangelical Christians and the fundamentalist Muslims and just fucking ship them.
All fundamentalists.
Sort it out. All fundamentalists.
Go to the Middle East. You can all fight over that fucking shithole, fucking talcum powder, garbage wasteland over there, a desert. All you fucking idiots that want to be fundamentalists, go fight over it. Go ahead. We'll build a nice high wall all the way around, and then when you guys declare a winner, we'll fill it with water. I mean, there's really nothing else. As soon as I hear somebody say, oh, well, you know, you just got to trust God, I immediately write that person off as they just checked out mentally. They're done with critical thinking, and I am done talking to them. I'm done trying to connect with them on any kind of intellectual level whatsoever. Until they go, hey, you remember when I said just trust in God? Yeah, I was completely dumb for saying that. Like, I was completely an ignorant ass. Until they come to me and make that confession, I've written them off as being a fucking moron. Like, it's a body. They would do better to catch bullets. Use as a bullet shield. That would be, they would have more benefit to the progression of humanity if they would be buried and used as fertilizer.
I think a lot of people would.
Dude, it's fucking crazy. I never understood that. Like, I'm just going to stop thinking and follow a book that was written by men 80 years after shit supposedly happened. But then, who's there to see Jesus sweat blood?
It's so obvious.
If he was by himself.
If you think about it for more than like a minute, it's like, wait a minute. This doesn't really add up. So none of these people writing the Bible were there? Like,
no.
What about the Old Testament, New Testament? It's like...
I believe that the Old Testament, some of it was actually like, okay, so then Samuel beget, like the lineage. I believe that part of the Bible is true. I also believe that some of like the book of Proverbs, because all it is a bunch of fucking wise saying like stolen food tastes better. It does. You ever stolen any food and eaten it? Of course it tastes better. Why would you steal the food? You didn't have any money, so that means you're really fucking hungry. So then you stole some food. It tastes great. Why? Because you're starving. You're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got this food. Oh my God, it tastes great. I'm not going to die because now I have food in my stomach. Like, I believe that to be okay. That's kind of true.
That is all right.
But like the story of, oh yeah, Joshua held his arms up and stopped the sun from God stopped the sun from moving so that they could finish killing all of this whatever tribe. So God stopped the sun from moving for a day, like kept the world still for a day, just so that Joshua could finish killing off this group of people that had blasphemed the name of the Almighty or whatever the fuck it was. And then when the Jews came back from Egypt, they were talking and I forget what the name of the fucking group was, but apparently they struck a deal with the Israelites where the Israelites weren't going to slaughter them all. They said, okay, here's the deal. You give us all your women that are of age to reproduce, to take as wives. So basically they're like, all right, they're going to be our sex slaves. So you give us all your women and we're going to make them our whores. Also, every male has to get circumcised. So for whatever fucking reason, these guys agreed to give up all their women to become whores for these guys. Then they agreed to chop the tips of their dicks off. Okay, now while they were recovering from chopping their dicks off, which I imagine would hurt a lot.
I mean, not chopping their dicks off. Just
all right, let's pull some of the skin loose and let's give it a little snipperoo, right? Tell you what, I'm gonna go grab my cigar cutter. We're gonna cut the tip of your finger off, and we'll see if it's sore in 3 days. But while all the guys were recovering from that, the Israelites went in and killed them all. In complete violation of the deal they had just made to spare their lives. If that isn't an example of fucking hypocrisy, I don't know.
I've never read the Bible.
I had to read it over and over and over again, and I absolutely hated it. But you know what it did? It gave me a really good education on it, so whenever the con artist that was ruining my parents' life would come up to me with some bullshit and he'd start quoting it, I could fucking outquote him. And then I could turn it around and argue it against him. Which, I might have received a few beatings for, but it was worth it because I could see in his eyes I had shaken this man's fucking faith in his con. He realized that I had just punched a huge hole in the middle of his fucking con. Oh, God's real. Why are there people dying of starvation? Oh, they don't believe in God. I thought God was merciful. Well, he is if you believe in him. So let me get this straight. If I don't believe in God, he's not going to be merciful to me. So that doesn't sound to me like that's somebody worth worshiping. Oh, that's blasphemy. It's convenient how that works that way. As soon as they start winning the argument, they start making solid points, contrary to what you're teaching.
You're the Gnostic.
I'm blasphemous. What?
The Gnostic Bible, or it's like unpublished books of the Bible.
Oh, like the Dead Sea Scrolls and shit.
Yeah, kind of.
Like the non.
Like
edited
stuff they
version?
didn't want to like put out there because,
Oh yeah, like
the Gnostic. I don't know much about it.
I've heard of that. There's also like the book of. I think it was like the Book of Solomon or some shit, and Solomon was like real big in the Jewish community real big in the early form because Solomon's temple was like supposedly like the best thing ever, but. Apparently he had, and there was a book, I forget the name of it, but he'd received some kind of word from God or something where he was able to somehow control the demons, and the demons, he was able to tell them what to do and they had to do his bidding, so then he used the demons to build the house of God. But I don't remember the name of it. But I remember...
Like, isn't this King Solomon's temple or something?
Well, that was like...
different, or...
He was the one that... He built the original... so King David was the... King Saul, we have to go back. King Saul was the first king of Israel, right? Because before that, God was the king of Israel. So the Israelites were like, well, we want a king like everybody around us because everybody around us just keeps fucking attacking us and winning because we don't have a king. So there's no polarizing figure that we can all get around and form an army and he can lead us into battle. King Saul, through whatever misdeeds he did, he didn't make sure that the balls on the goats that he sacrificed weren't torn in any way because that was part of the requirement. If you were going to sacrifice a lamb, if the lamb had any disfigurement in its balls, if its balls were cut or maimed in any way, and you were to sacrifice that to God, that would be considered blasphemous, and you could be put to death for that. Be out of favor with God, right? This altruistic, wonderful being. So,
why does God have to be good?
He isn't. I have a feeling that he's non-existent. I have a feeling that science has proved that.
Has it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you disprove God?
Yeah. Well, I can disprove the theory of the benevolent God.
Yeah, you can disprove that.
Yeah.
By, presupposing that God has good intentions for everybody.
Yeah. That's easily dispelled by what
if God isn't anything like what they want to say is, I heard something about the Gnostic texts where they're saying like humanity is trapped in this realm. Our spirits are energy. We're trapped in this realm, and our God isn't here with us. But the God that is the God of this realm isn't God at all, and is more like an oppressor.
Oh, you're talking he's like a middle manager, like a middle management type character.
Yeah.
Like Bill Lumberg.
Yeah. That's it.
There we go.
That's what God is.
God is Bill
Lumberg. It's just like some kind of like interdimensional middle management that's just like, oh, I gotta fucking...
Fuck, I'm miserable, so you're all miserable, yeah.
That's, I think that's more like...
That makes more sense. That absolutely makes more sense. Yeah, I'd believe that. I'd believe that, yeah. God is middle manager akin to Bill Lumberg.
And the old ones are just...
I just don't think that people fucking need to be reading old books and...
Taking it literally?
Yeah, trying to practically apply it. That's like going, all right, cool, yeah,
we're like gonna... People are like, you try to argue with them about the Bible. You call him Jesus a liar? Motherfucker.
No, I'm calling him fake.
Jesus didn't write a fucking word of this.
No.
Like, you don't know what Jesus said.
Take all the quotation marks out of the Bible. That's what I'm saying. We should start a political movement. remove all quotation marks out of the Bible. Why? Because nobody was there. How can you quote somebody if nobody was there to see it?
Exactly. Makes sense. We should just take quotation marks off of everything and just fuck people. Can you imagine reading books with quotation?
Then we would have to chop everybody's fingers off, though, because then people would do air quotes. You can't do that.
Yeah, you should. You should.
What do we do with the fingers? Make necklaces?
Fertilize.
Earrings.
Gardens. Earrings. Decorative amulets.
Instead of chicken fingers, you can just have fingers.
Deep fried. Open our own restaurant chain.
Human fingers.
Dos Hermanos.
Finger foods.
Finger foods.
It could be like If I Did It, the book by OJ, where the if is like, it just reads I did it, but then inside the I there's a really tiny if. Have you ever seen that? The title? Okay, so he came out with the book and it says If I Did It. Well,
that
the Goldmans. Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
No, it's real. The Goldmans sued and were able to get it. The only way they could release the book is if they made the if like teeny tiny inside the I. So it just reads I did it until you look really close. You're like, oh, there's the if. So it would have to be like that. It would be like, if this were real.
Yeah, I'm going to have you come in on Saturday.
Yeah, I've had to let a couple people go and play catch up. Yeah.
Come in.
That'd be great.
Sunday, too.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. George Carlin said it best. God loves you and he just wants your money. So if you don't love him, he'll send you to hell and you'll burn there forever.
Yeah.
Fucking carrot and stick, man. You don't want the carrot, you'll get the stick. What if I just don't want to go? Fuck your cart. I don't want to pull a cart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe, reality's just so weird.
I heard a good one today.
That we don't know.
In response to, well, God won't give you more than you can handle. In my case, sir, God said, fuck the donkey, just load the cart. Right? That's a pretty good one. This old Sicilian dude that was teaching me, he's just basically riding in the truck to make sure I wasn't going to fucking destroy anything or get the company sued. But, it's just ridiculous that the fact that religion has held on for as long as it has, fundamentalist religion. I understand, like in the Middle East, because over there it's fucking third world. You shit in a hole in the ground and wipe your ass with your hand and then rub it off on the sand or whatever. Like there's way more instances of people being super poor, super backwards, where you have to walk 5 miles to get a jug of fucking contaminated water, bring it back and poison the rest of your family.
It's like they're all hillbillies in a way.
They're
just like super evangelical hillbillies.
Like Joel Osteen. How is that guy not a fucking like?
What a piece of shit. How
churches don't pay taxes. Like any church doesn't pay tax.
I think they should pay taxes.
Everybody should pay taxes. Everybody.
Yeah. Fuck churches.
Man, fucking burn them all down. God damn it. I won't. I'm pretty sure you guys won't.
No.
And if you're listening out there, that was a joke. Don't go out and burn churches and then fucking play this for the cops to listen for me to say it. I don't condone burning churches down, even though I do. Everything on this channel is said in joke, even though I wasn't joking. But I'm joking. Now, if you're a fundamentalist today, my personal opinion, I think you should be shot. And you have a chance to become an apostate and come around to like thinking like in the 21st century.
What's an apostate?
Somebody that leaves a religion for another one. So it's like a defector.
So, like, if you just leave a religion, but you have to leave religion to another religion to be an apostate, or if you just leave a religion, you're an apostate?
I believe if you leave the religion, period, you're an apostate. I had a girl that she had become an apostate to the Islamic religion, and she worked at Christie's as a stripper because she couldn't get a job anywhere else because her family would keep coming in. They would harass her to the point where the boss was like, "Yeah, we can't have you work here."
At least they didn't throw acid in her face.
No, but what they did was they showed up at Christie's the day after I left, like the day after I quit, and I told them about it. I'm like, "Don't let that motherfucker in here. He's gonna fucking kill her." And they're like, she'll be all right. We got her. We're bouncers, big bad guys. She was on the stage, jumped up on the stage, and beat the living fuck out of her. Beautiful girl. Her face was so fucking lumped up, she looked like a goddamn cartoon. And I was like, I told you guys, but, that's neither here nor there. But it's like, what do you expect, man? These people are fucking savages. Fuck them. Fuck them all. You want to think like that? You want to be a hardliner? Great. We'll send you over there, and you can be a hardliner in Egypt. You want to be a hardline Christian? Go to Egypt. Be a hardline Christian, man. We'll put you right on the front fucking lines. Talk all that good shit about Jesus there. You don't want to do it there? Don't do it here. But then that gets into the whole freedom of speech and infringing on rights and all that good shit.
Fucking rights.
Some motherfucker, man. Next thing you know, you're gonna let women vote. Crazy assholes. What the fuck?